I decided to join since I saw the agenda. I don't information is Maskani, and I joined the which
Eka, we seem to have lost you. Mukhtar, your hand is raised. Maybe you can go ahead as you're waiting.
Yes, Kimani and the team, I think all of you are hearing me. And I think much has been said by Abdurrahman about the project, and we work closely with Abdurrahman as Garissa Resident Association. And as Garissa Civil Society, I think we have before petitioned the World Bank on this project in Garissa, the Dr. Reed project in Garissa. And I think the project, briefly, maybe I will not take much of the time, but briefly, I think the project is to enhance the livelihood of the residents as they host the communities through. I think this project is being implemented in the counties which are hosting the refugees. That is Garissa County and Turkana County. Garissa County is being implemented in three constituencies. That is Lagdera, Dadaab, and Fafi. But I don't know in Turkana County is being implemented in how many constituencies. Maybe we will, our colleagues from Turkana will maybe tell us that. And if they don't know, maybe Abdurrahman can tell us that. But I think the project in Garissa County, and the project is meant to improving access to basic social service and expansion of the community opportunities and enhancing of environmental management for the communities in these three constituencies. And the three hosting refugee constituencies in the targeted areas of Kenya. Now, and our findings as a team, and with the Garissa Resident Association and Garissa Civil Society, our findings reveal that these good intentions are at risk and is not benefiting the communities which this project was intended to benefit. And I think this project is being misused by the facilitating partners in the three constituencies of Dadaab, Lagdera, and Fafi. And as Abdurrahman has said before, you know, and we try to find out, is this project really benefiting the community on the ground? And there's a lot of cry. There's a lot of cry from the community. We received letters complaining from groups. The other day, even an MCA from Lagdera and constituency and Banana Ward was complaining about this project is not benefiting his community. There are many cries from this and constituencies about this project. And it seems this project is being misused and is being the money which is supposed intended purpose to
Hello. I cannot hear Mukhtar. Who can hear me, please?
Hi. Yeah, we seem to have lost him.
I can hear you.
Where is Mukhtar? You can hear me?
Yes. Let's find out what is going on.
Yes. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, Macho, we can hear you now.
Yes, Hassan, karibu Hassan. Kidogo kuna call imeingia. I'm trying to Hassan Gele ndo nataka aingie hii conversation. He's trying to register, register and kidogo inamsumbua, so I just told him aingie na email, so he's ina interrupt hiyo kidogo. So Mukhtar was speaking last time. Mukhtar, umemaliza your part so that we can go systematically. Okay, Hassan, can you hear me? Let me just continue. I think Kim is not also on.
I think we lost Mukhtar in the course of the meeting. I think Ekai.
Yes.
Ekai wanted to
Yes.
continue something. I think.
Yes. Yeah. Hello. I wish to continue. Now that I'm back for a few minutes before the internet disappears again. Okay, I wanted to ask whether we have a representative from Kakuma, because I'm from Central. I don't know much about the program there. Maybe if we can actually guide us, tell us how much far the program is, how the program is going on there, and benefits. Maybe if there are some other issues, maybe to share with us so that we can contribute as members from other sub-counties. You know, now that the project works in West. Thank you.
Thank you for your question, Ekai. I'm not sure whether we have members from Turkana West. Maybe if there's anyone at the meeting, maybe they can let us know. Valerie, Zedekiah, Evelyn.
Yes, Kimani.
Go ahead, Abdi.
Kim kidogo, there's someone who's trying to join. He has already registered. Inasema pending. He has sent me a screenshot. He's sending pending approval. So he's Hassan Geli by the name. Yes, just kindly accept him. Ni mtu mwingine kutoka another person from Garissa. So we want everybody's views, so we can have divergent views maybe. So he's trying to join, and ananiambia he has even registered, and ameingia kwa email, and inamwambia pending approval. I will send you on WhatsApp.
Anaitwa nani?
Mohammed Gele. Hassan Gele, or do you see?
Mwambie angalie email. She's approved. She's approved for the meeting. Mwambie email.
Mukhtar amerudi. Okay, Kimani, let me just call him. Continue with people from Turkana. And then, yes.
I've sent him the email. Nimemtumia email tena. Akona link, but also you can send him the link on WhatsApp.
Okay.
I don't have his number, Shida.
Okay. Just continue. Let me call him.
Okay. So maybe we can. Yeah, we lost you.
I'm back, yes.
Endelea. I think you can pick up.
I can pick up from where I left.
Yes.
So I was just saying, we even wrote letters about the project. And I just wanted to share with the steps we have taken with Abdurrahman as Garissa Residence Station, and also the civil society in Garissa. We have also wrote letters to the project coordinator in Garissa about the project and the beneficiaries and everything about the project. But up to now, he has not furnished with us any reply. But we also wrote, because there is a lot of corruption which is going on in this project in Garissa. by the members of the parliament and the facilitating partners, because really speaking, it's not benefiting the community. There's a lot of cries from Fafi community residents and the Dab and also in Lagdera. It is as if this project is benefiting individuals who are in Nairobi and some guys who are calling themselves facilitating partners who are just benefiting them and their cronies, individuals. Because if, sincerely speaking, Maskani team, if maybe today we go to those and constituencies, you not see the impact of these projects on the faces of the community, because this is a livelihood project supposed to benefit the community. And we have also, and I think I urge my colleagues in our brothers and also who are with us in this conversation from Turkana to be vigilant and to also monitor these projects. These projects is being misused by individuals, members of parliament, and some cartels at the office of the president and also the facilitating partners. This is a lot of money. 10 billion shillings is a lot of money. You need to change the lifestyle of the community, but it's not benefiting. It's not changing. It's not benefiting the individuals. There's a lot of cries from everywhere. So we even, and I think we need your support. The Maskani Taifa, we need your support. We need your support. We need to petition further this project, and we want to totally stop. We want them to redesign this project. And the other day, there was a fight between the county government and the members of parliament. And in terms of this, all of them, they are fighting for this money. There is some money which is channeled through the counties and by World Bank to counties. And there is this Dr. Kairi project and through the members of parliament and their facilitating partners. And let me tell you clearly, some people will argue that and these projects independent from the members of parliament, but these facilitating partners and calling themselves facilitating partners, these organizations are being owned by these members of parliament. And they are the ones who this money, they're being channeled to the NGOs, and they're only benefiting this money individuals who are in Nairobi. So I think this right time we petition, we come out, and this project needs to be redesigned if it's really supposed to benefit the community. And I think that is my, and I think we are still waiting. We have with the support of Garissa Resident Association, my colleague and Abdurrahman and I, we have wrote letter to ESCC, we have wrote letter to the DCI, and we will not and I think sit down. We will go further. We will knock doors of the project coordinator and other partner and other agencies to make sure that these projects is really benefits the intended purpose and benefit the common Mwananchi who World Bank have intended to benefit this project. Thank you so much. Maybe I also not talk much. I need also to give chance to my colleagues. So thank you, Kimani and Abdurrahman, and also other colleagues.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I think Mukhtar has explained everything in detail, the bulk of it, everything that I was introducing a bit earlier on. And Mukhtar is actually, we work together, and we're still working together as we are also, still monitoring this project here in Garissa County. And we're going to talk more about that. The same guy is also having, on a lighter note, Kimani, I'm getting also a text from Hassan Geli. He's having difficulties joining. So anyway, that's why nimetoka ndo nikarudi. Mimi, let me just continue with what I was explaining kidogo a bit earlier, so that we can talk about next discussion. We can talk about now what's happening, the monkey business that's going on, what the facilitating partners are doing, what the national government and the NPIU are doing, and what we have requested from World Bank, the steps that we have taken, the steps that we are taking as we speak right now, because we have wrote letters to different agencies, and the steps, the way forward, what we want to do, and all that. So that is what we'll be talking about in the next point. So anyway, our assessment of this project, as I was saying, is it raised blatant violation of the MOU, which was signed between the two levels of government. There's been push and pull between the politicians. On one point, there's even in Garissa, at one time we had just recently the MPs were just actually fighting with Daniel Otieno, Karibu. Daniel Otieno was joining the room. As recently, the three MPs from the three constituencies were actually lamenting about this issue in public. At one point, chest stamping and making ultimatums, making it sort of what's it called, fight with the county government and all that. While the county government are also liable in this, because the implementation, if you look at the MOU which was signed between the two levels of government, it actually says that the implementation of this project is supposed to be aligned with the devolved units. So they're actually supposed to work with the county government too. So, but the county government are also culpable in this, because at the end of the day, if all everybody who are supposed to take part in this is actually looking at their own interests, it's the common wananchi who suffers at the end of the day. So what we did is, as we petitioned the World Bank and we got a response from it, as a result of that, as recently as I think just a month ago, some money was released for the community groups, for the community groups. But we still had even information on the ground from the people who actually benefited from that the 500,000 which was given to these people as loan, none of them received the full amounts. People are given 350,000. You have to withdraw 150,000 and give it to the facilitating partner. If it's in Fafi, it's Faida. If it's in Dadaab and Lagdera, Hassan Gumo is saying, please send the link to Hassan Gele. He's saying that the link was sent to him via an email, but unfortunately, I don't know if he is still having problems with that. I think Imani can work in the background, probably work on that.
Let me try to do that.
Yes, he has sent his number here on the chat box. Just send the link to that number. So, what was I saying? I was interrupted. The facilitating partners, I was talking about it. This thing has been politicized and all that. So what we have taken as the members of civil society, as people who are interested, who has the public interest at heart, we petitioned the World Bank. They gave us a good reply. This thing was escalated. Our petition was actually escalated all the way to New York, where they have the headquarters. It's actually there right now. They have a copy, and they told us to work with, they directed us to the NPIU, the National Project Implementation Unit. And then at the county level, they gave us the redress mechanisms at the office of the county coordinator. So what we did is, we went there on invitation. Before we even went there, they invited us after we petitioned them. But we didn't go there, since Somalis are normally oral society. We didn't go there to talk. We went there together with Mukhtar. He can bear witness that. And another female member who was also part of organization. We wrote a letter. We went there with a letter, and this letter was a request, a simple letter, a request for information. This is what we requested from the county coordinator for Garissa County, for the Dr. Dip, County Integrated Project Implementation Unit. So his name is called Mr. Mohammed Abdi Farah, Garissa County Project Coordinator, Dr. Dip, County Integrated Project Implementation Unit, Garissa. So this is request for information regarding the various Dr. Dip sub-projects and community groups funded by the World Bank. We said we, the undersigned members of Garissa Resident Association, write request for information regarding the subject line above. On 25th February 2021, we petitioned the World Bank Kenya Project Officer under the umbrella of Garissa Resident Association. In their response, they encourage to directly reach out to your office as a means of redress mechanism. It's against this backdrop and in line with the Access to Information Act 2016 and Article 35 of the Constitution of Kenya, we write to request for the following information. 1, Part A status update report, in brackets, narrative and financial reports of all Dr. Deep sub-projects that have been funded since the inception of the project. Part B, all Dr. Deep sub-projects that have been implemented in the financial year 2019-2020 and their location in Fafi, Dadaab, and Lagdera. Number two, request that you have requested. A full list of all the community groups, including their specific location and amount of money each group has received in the 2019-2020 financial year. And then this was dated, it was dated March 26th. Unfortunately, they did not, and this was copied to Lisa Smith, the World Bank project officer, and Dr. Ann Kinyua. They also have the copies of it. Unfortunately, this letter, the county coordinator and his office, they have a grievance. There's a grievance book. When you go there, you enter the grievance book. And then at the end there, there's a part where there's a resolution where when you're satisfied and the information, everything is full, and that you are fully satisfied, you can actually sign it, a resolution, and that's how the grievance is handled. Unfortunately, the county coordinator and his office did not revert to our letter. So we did not stop there. As recently as April 26th, we wrote another letter. After a whole month, we did not receive any response in writing from the county coordinator's office, Garissa County for K.D. So you know that the Access to Information Act gives you the right and the liberty to request for any information from the government or any project that's implemented by the government, because this project is only funded by World Bank, but it's implemented by the government. It's a government of Kenya project. So it has to abide by the rules of the law. The law of the land. So this is what happened. According to what's called the Fair Administrative Action Act, if you write to a public body or a private entity, they're supposed to revert within 21 days. So the time for reverting to that letter request for information was actually lapsed. So on 26 April, which was not long that ago, we wrote another letter now to the same office from Garissa Resident Association to Mr. Mohammed Abdi Farah, Garissa County Project Coordinator, Dr. Deep County Integrated Project Implementation Unit, Garissa. Now, this is a request for further information regarding now the projects themselves and the community groups, finer details. This is request for further information regarding the various Dr. Deep sub-projects and community groups funded by World Bank in Garissa County. Further, now we said further to our letter dated 26 March, which I have told you we already requested for information on 26 March, addressed to your office, in which we made requests for information regarding the various Dr. Deep sub-projects and community groups. We write to request for the following additional information, underline that word, in line with the Access to Information Act 2016 and Article 35 of the Constitution of Kenya. These are the information that we requested, additional information, require that, underline that word, additional information. Number one, all groups funded for the financial year 2019-2020 and the financial year 2020-2021. Number two, information regarding all sub-projects funded so far, including but not limited to Part A. It's a whole list. You can bear with me. I don't want this to sound like a monologue. Part A, this is information regarding all the sub-projects in the three constituencies of Fafi, Lagdera, and Dadaab. Part A of question, this is the approved procurement plan for the financial year 2019, 2020, 2020, 2021. Part B, the approved budget for the financial year 2019, 2020, 2020, 2021. Part C, evaluation criteria, stroke, evaluation team composition. Part D, all bidding documents submitted by the bidders. Part E, appointment letters for the tender opening and evaluation committee. Part F, tender selling registers. Part G, tender opening registers. H, minutes of tender opening and evaluation committee. I, part I, this is now professional opinion for procurement. Part J, letters of award. K, regarding the projects. Notifications of award. This is the information we requested. Part L, acceptance letters from successful bidders. Part M, contract signed between procuring entity and successful bidders. Part N, certificate showing work done for the financial year 2019, 2020, and 2020, 2021. Part O, invoices, if there are any. Part P, payment vouchers. Part Q, which is the last one that we requested, it's a bank reconciliation for K. Dr. Deep Garissa accounts. So this is very detailed information that we have asked from them. It's further request for information. You have to understand that when World Bank in their response directed us to deal with the redress mechanism at the county level, at the county coordinator's office, we abided by their direction. We took their direction and we wrote a request for information regarding those projects. The first one, I read it to you. They did not respond. A month later, which is on 26th April, which was recently, we wrote another request for information regarding these various projects. And then this is what it was very detailed. If you did not hear it, and I hope the people of Turkana will actually take these steps. These are the way, these are the things that you should be inquiring. And you know that the Constitution says that any information that is of importance to the public, it must be published and publicized, when requested for that information. That's according to the Constitution. So this is information. This is actually you are demanding as your right, per your right that's granted to you by the Constitution. So we copied this letter to CC to number one, to the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission here in Garissa. And then number two, we also copied it to the Directorate of Criminal Investigation, DCI officers, Garissa County officers, and it was actually received by the county criminal officer for Garissa County, for the DCI. So that is the steps that we have taken as far as this project is concerned. And we don't want to stop there. This is a process that we have started. We are still doing social audit of this process, and we are ready as Garissa Resident Association to take this to the next level, because this is the final, we have made a final appeal for request for information as far as this latest letter is concerned. This letter that I was just reading to you guys, the request made in that letter. So it's a final appeal. After this, even if it's going to the next level, we are ready to go to the next level. Even if the rot is at Harambe House, where the national coordinator sits, the office of the president, then there is the legislative arm of the government who are supposed and independent of the executive, and they're supposed to do an oversight over them. So what we can even do and what we have, with what might be on the cards, I'm not saying we're going to do that soon, but what may be on the cards very soon, inshallah, God willingly, is that we were considering petitioning the national coordinator for this project, Dr. Ann Kinywa, to be summoned by the Public and Accounts Committee to appear before them with what's called to be summoned with documents regarding these projects, so that we can get a clear picture of what's happening, because there's a lot of monkey business going on. There's a lot of politics embroiled in this whole thing. There's MPs who are actually doing a lot of talking, and from speaking from both sides of their mouth, making what's called roadside noises and all those things, making all kind of inciting the community who don't understand the design of this project as envisaged in the terms of reference, in the document, in the PAD project agreement document, all those. The communities are taken for a ride. They are being spoken to, and since what's called, they come from the same ethnic extraction, it's actually been politicized and ethnicized. So that's the problem that we have in Garissa County, and I hope the people of Turkana County are actually listening to this, because as we did our work, and we're still continuing doing our work. We've even got requests from people from Wajir, and we will soon giving them a copy of the petition that we present to World Bank, so that they can twist a bit of it probably, and then include their input under their grievances, and then present it to World Bank also. And I would request from the people of Turkana County to also liaise with us and also do the same. Let's take these relevant agencies, what's called on the. Let's put them on the limelight. Let's put them on the spotlight. That's what I'm requesting from people of Turkana. We invited people from Wajir. Unfortunately, we don't have anyone from Wajir who has joined so far. We only have Garissa and Turkana. I urge you guys, and this is a request, I'm requesting for you guys, because I'm passionate about this thing, because I know how this thing will have benefited the people who come from those people. These people who come from these villages, they're actually villages in Lagdera, in Fafi, in Dadaab. They're very poor. This project will have been, what's called a lifesaver for them. It will have provided what's called very, very important and imperative, what's called services to them. So for the development of this project, if the community identified this project and then these projects were implemented. I will give you an example in Fafi, because we are doing a social audit, and this thing can be on record because this thing is also recorded. In Fafi, what happened is there's a place called Warable in Fafi. The community, a place that is actually kilometers away from the community, that's where a project was done. It was the silting of a water pan. It was done. So what's happening is these people, instead of the community identifying the projects, these people, they do their own things. If it's a project, wanafanya ile mali wanataka. The communities are not being, they're not even being, their inputs have not been considered, because the village committee that are supposed to identify these projects, Nini, and they're supposed to be elected in a public baraza, have been handpicked by the facilitating partners, who are briefcase NGOs in collaboration with the MPs who own these NGOs. So this is just kickbacks, wanakula to kickbacks, indirectly, because these NGOs are proxies. And I think they have the same problem in Turkana. I don't know which NGO has been tasked with this responsibility in Turkana, but I'm pretty sure, I'm almost certain, I cannot say 100%, but I'm 90% sure that they are facing the similar monkey business is ongoing. So those are the steps we have taken as far as the Garissa Resident Association is concerned. Next, I would like to move to someone else to talk about this, what they have had with the introductions that I made, my presentation, which was a bit long, and I beg your forgiveness for that. If it was more of a monologue, because this is supposed to be a dialogue, I was just trying to give you what's called this project. I was just trying to lay the groundwork for you guys so that you can understand the project, specifically for the people of Turkana, because they're asking a lot of questions, and now wakiandika kwa hiyo chat box. So kindly take part in this. If you're from Turkana, just even if it's Abdirsaq Shimbir entered the room. Okay, there's Abdirsaq Shimbir from Garissa who has entered the room. I'm also going to give everybody a chance. Now, for everybody, I want you guys from Turkana specifically. I don't want people to Garissa to Aonge, because people who are Garissa already, most of them, it has been politicized, Wanajua. I want to know what's happening, if you don't know what's happening on the ground in Turkana, what do you know about this project, even if it's vague? If you have a vague, what's called, information about it, just share it, just contribute something, and then if you want to take steps, remedial steps and all that, like we did, if you need the assistance, if you want to liaise with that, let's talk about this, because this is project that is supposed to improve the livelihoods of these people. Look at the people who are supposed to benefit from this project. This billions and billions of money. It's a 5-year project. We are now in the second financial year. And this money is being looted left, right, and center. Hii pesa ilikuwa takana isaidie watu wakiwa pale, vijijini, specifically they're going through, there's drought, there's lack of rain in some places, all those things. This money is being used to buy V8 in Nairobi, because that is what's happening. And pesa ya World Bank si pesa ya kuguzwa hivi. This is not ile design hivi. You can talk to the EACC and all these things. Imana Mata entered the room. Karibu. Everybody who's entering now, you will be given time to speak. Here, pesa ya World Bank, they're very transparent. That's why our petition is in New York as we speak. It's being up, and until we withdraw our petition and say that we are satisfied with this, and sign the grievance book, the resolution book there, we're going to have this fight, if it is going to be for the next 2 years, if it is going to be stopping this money, because if it's not benefiting the targeted beneficiaries, I think there's no need for this thing to be to be there in the first place. Because look at those villages in Lakdera, look at those villages in the Dab. They don't even have water. They don't even have any what's called healthcare or any kind of thing. If this money was supposed to benefit, these are the target beneficiaries now and Ateta. The question we should be asking ourselves and the people of Turkana and the people of Wajir is, who is benefiting this money? Who is pocketing this money? And that's what we're after, and we're going to get to go, and try to exhaust all available avenues. So without further ado, I think I've talked for a long time. I'll go to Kimani. Kimani, kindly give it to who has joined us recently. Kimani, go to Imana Mata and Daniel Otieno. Imada Mata and Daniel Otieno in that order, so they can introduce themselves, and then continue join the discussion. Kimani.
Yeah, as you continue the conversation, yes, I think we have 2 people who have joined us. 3 actually. We have Daniel Otieno, we have Celestine, and we have Abdirizak. Kindly introduce yourselves and welcome to the conversation. In the meantime, I'm going to say that Zedekiah Mareba said that as Turkana people, we will do our best. We will do our best as Turkana people. So I think we will continue monitoring and following what's happening with the fund in Turkana, and I think we'll keep you in touch. And also maybe you also want to pay keen attention on what's happening with it in Turkana and see how also we can partner. Yes. So in that order, the people who joined us, please tuongelesheni kidogo tujue ni nani.
Start with Daniel Otieno. Okay, I think Daniel Otieno, can you unmute your mic? Introduce yourself. Okay, the people from Turkana, if you're listening to this conversation, kindly just share what you would like to know probably, or if you have shown interest, I am seeing. Kindly let's also hear your voices.
I think we will just continue because of time.
Okay. We have someone else who has joined us from Garissa. Abdirizak Shimbir. Unmute his mic. Unmute your mic, Abdirizak Shimbir.
Yes, Abdurrahman.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
Okay, kindly just a brief introduction.
I'm sorry for joining you late.
So no, thank you. Just apologies.
Yes, I was end up in other issues. Yes.
Okay, bro. I think we have missed a big chunk of the discussion.
Yes.
But I know you personally, and I know that you are well acquainted and informed about this project.
True.
In Garissa County.
Yes.
So in this discussion, we also have people from Turkana County.
Yes.
We also invited people from Wajir County, but unfortunately, they did not turn up. So it's a discussion around what's called the difficulties that community projects face.
Yes.
And this is a case study that we have used this K-Dr.D project as a case study now. So I talked about everything, yes. The petition that we presented to World Bank, the letters we wrote as recently as just a week ago, just a couple of weeks ago, and every single thing. Now I want you to introduce yourself first, and then share your input also.
Okay, Abdurrahman. I'm Abdirizak Shimbir from Garissa County, a staff of Garissa County deployed to this project as a procurement assistant for the Dab sub-county. Maybe our friends from the other county are aware of the issue we have with K-Dr.D Garissa County. Currently, we have no any good relation with them, our working relation, and we have withdrawn our support from them because of we could not agree on the implementation part. So I leave out other inputs as we go on. Let me first hear from where you have reached so far.
Okay. We have gone quite a lot. I've talked about what's called the petition in the things we raised in the petition, like how the facilitating partners in the various the different sub counties have violated the terms of references for the project and the MOU, and how there's a monkey business going on, just to put it straight, in those three sub counties. And what's called there's a push and pull, and how some of the MPs are actually politicizing these issues, and and there's even no room. If you look at the document, the project agri document, there's nowhere an MP has been mentioned, even at any level. So that is the mass lack of civic education in these constituencies, which are villages. Most of people there, the illiteracy level is very high. They're not aware of what's going on and everything. So I talked about all of those things. So since you are a staff, you told me, and you have deployed to this, can you kindly share your deals, the things that you could not agree on probably in terms of the implementation, the problems that you have faced, and the things, what's called the facilitating partners and the county coordinator. What is the stumbling block? Why is this thing with this thing, what is the impediment?
Mr. Brown, I think the part is very clear on the implementation part and every institution's role on the issue. And actually, the problem started when these facilitating partners were, or the facilitating the NGOs were given the role to do the implementation work, which was the role of the county government. And I don't know if the other places are like that, but in Garissa, the two facilitating partners are linked to our politicians or the sitting MPs who are the patrons of these NGOs. It's not an independent NGOs. They are an NGO which is being managed by the MPs. The MPs are the ones who employ the board. The MPs are the ones who employ the CEOs. So that's where the problem started. So the coordinator of the KWD based in Garissa created a room for these facilitating partners to work with them instead of the county government. Maybe you understand the county government is a government institution,
yes,
which obeys the rules and the laws of the government. When it comes to procurement, we follow the procurement procedures. When it comes to financial, we follow the PFM Act. So we always implement our programs in line with the government policy. Unlike the facilitating partners, which is an NGO, it has its own policy and it has a way to maneuver and ignore the public procurement and public finance issues. Maybe that's where the KWD find that it is easily to implement their issues in line with these policies which are made by an NGO, unlike the one which is in part of the government. So we cannot agree at the first stage. We did the planning, the procurement planning, the work plan. It was approved by the CTC at the county level. So when it comes to implementation, we cannot agree on that. They were doing their own things without even engaging us. So it even forced the county secretary to withdraw his staff from the project instead of the KWD using the county government as a rubber stamp. Yeah.
I hear you. Okay. That is, I think, very well stated. There's a few probably a question I'd like to answer. I'd like to ask one question. You have stated that from your submission that these facilitating partners that have been mandated in this to do this work in this what's called the three sub counties. In a nutshell, just in black and white, they are briefcase NGOs, owned and related. They have good and the relations with the area MPs. So that's where the problem lies.
Yes.
And there's been interference from the MPs, the area MPs, in cohorts working with the facilitating partners.
Yes, actually, it just work like the CDF. It is the MP who decide who should be given the sub-project. It's the MP who decide who should be given the CGMC's groups money. It's just like a CDF, actually.
So I would like to ask you another question. Recently, there have been people who have been awarded money. I think for the community groups, they were given money. I think it was I think a month ago. I don't know. The people were complaining that they are not receiving the full amounts that the facilitating partners were actually deducting. People are actually directing people to deposit 150,000 or 100,000 or withdraw as a kickback, and people obliged. What do you know about that? Shimber, Abdirazak Shimber, can you kindly unmute your mic? Yes.
Okay. Sorry.
Yes, I asked you a question. Yes, I asked you a question. It is regarding the facilitating partners. While we are still talking about them, there's been complaints that when these community groups, specifically the community groups, when they are given money, this money like the 500,000 that were awarded from to the community groups, the money that was given, I think some months ago, I think, people are complaining that they're not receiving the full amounts, that they were given directions, certain directions that you should deposit or withdraw 150,000 and give as a kickback to the facilitating partners. And this has been the same case for Faida in Fafi, and the same case for RDO in Dab and Lakdeira. And we have received complaints from some of the beneficiaries as you. What do you know about that? Have you guys, are you in the, do you have any information about that?
Well, it is just a rumors per se, but I've not seen anyone who have reported in the right manner. But the fact is, beside that, this money, when the government was issuing this money, it has a purpose, intended purpose. When these groups are being given this money, before that, there's a process. They're supposed to apply for this money, prepare a business plan showing that in details what they want to intend to do with this money. It's supposed to be implemented. Like a case when someone wants this money in his business plan that he submits, it says that he's going to open a shop or so. But this because these are groups, it's not an individual money. So the reality is, if you hit the ground and go to the ground and do an evaluation on this issue, you will not find that there's existing actually. If you say that today you are going to visit Lagdera constituency, and up to this moment that up to this period about 78 plus another 40, about 120 groups were awarded with the money. You won't find that even 10% of these groups have actually implemented their business plan. It's just a simple way that maybe they share the money and use on their own way. So the money is not actually used on the intended purpose. Yes.
Okay. So you're saying these groups only exist on paper?
Actually, they don't exist on paper. Majority 10%. Or maybe you find 10% that had an existing business and they add the money to that existing business as a personal way, but you won't find even 20% or 30% of the money awarded, which has been implemented as per their business plan.
Okay. Now, we would like to give other people chances or opportunities to speak. But okay. Before that,
I'm available.
Before that, we want to ask you one final question. Since we talked about the community groups, I want to ask you a question about the sub-projects that are supposed to be, done in these counties as well. Can you kindly shed a light on that? What is the progress of that now? If the community groups highlight. By the
way, about Abdurrahman, a lot of issues around this sub-project, because this is a government project which is supposed to be done as per the government regulation. As much as the money or the process is owned by the community, but there's something that you cannot leave to the community, because the communities, maybe majority of the communities are not educated. They don't have the capacity to undertake some issues. When some projects are being done, even in any institutions, there's an engineer involved when it comes to water, when it comes to building, when it comes to roads. You see, and these engineers are government engineers. There should be even a procurement expert who help them in the procurement process. But all these things have been overlooked, because I understand that in the government side, engineers are government employees and they are the county employees, because they are devolved units. Roads is a devolved unit, water is a devolved unit, health is a devolved unit. Some of these issues, the project they are undertaking. If they are not involving the county engineers who are the government officials, I don't know whom they're involving in preparing the BQs, in ascertaining that.
Kindly unmute your mic. Unmute your mic, Abdulrazak. Kindly unmute your mic, Abdulrazak. If you can hear me, Abdulrazak Shimbir. Kimani, let's go to someone else. Kimani, kindly unmute your mic. Unmute your mic, Abdirzak.
Yes.
You have yes. Okay, Abdirzak, I'll come back to you and ask you further questions about that. Let's move on to another person now. Kimani,
Okay,
Kimani, take me to where is Hassan? Okay, Kimani, Kim. Kim. Kimani. I think he's not on. Okay, let's continue. Abdirzak.
Yes.
Okay. Kimani,
Yeah.
can you take me to someone else? I'll come back to Shimbir. Abdirzak Shimbir, I'll have a discussion with him. Kindly take me to someone from what's called Turkana. I want to speak to someone from Turkana. Susan, Daniel Atieno. There's Amwai Evelyn. There's the Dekia Mareba. There's Valerie Trina. I want to speak to someone from Turkana. Zedekia.
Hey Abdul.
Yes, habari gani?
Mzuri sana.
I think umesikia sisi watu wa Garissa, we have gone deep into this thing.
Yes.
I have seen in the chat box vile mlikuwa andika that most of you guys want to understand this thing and you're actually interested in taking this thing remedial steps in this project here.
Yeah.
Kindly, can you introduce yourself first and what do you know about this project? Even vaguely, where is it being implemented in Turkana? Is it Turkana West? Where does I know it's in Kakuma. Kakuma is for Kakuma refugee camp, but where exactly in Turkana and something like that?
Okay. Zedeka.
Hassan, welcome. Okay. Continue, Zedekia. Continue.
Zedeka Mareba. So I've been following up on this discussion about this project. So vaguely, I cannot say exactly where the project is being implemented. That's why I'm following up to know more about it and at least be part and parcel of it throughout.
Okay. What else? I want to ask in Turkana West, I think, where does Kakuma come inakujanga wapi chini wapi? Turkana West.
Yes, hello. Yes.
Is it, I think, in Turkana West? Probably someone else who can give us a bit of more information who's from Turkana before we go back to the discussion in details. Zedekiah, thanks for your contribution. And then one thing else, if you want to, you can get my contacts from Kimani. If you want, I will give you directions because we had the same, people who are seeking support from also Wajir who are facing the same predicament, and they want to take also action. So if you want to understand this thing, probably draft what's called a petition to World Bank and all that. We already did that. We already taking different a long trajectory. We took a long trajectory from the word go. So if you want, if you need help probably, or if you need any kind of assistance in that, you can contact us through Maskani. So let me continue now. What's called Kimani? Kim, can you hear me?
Yeah, I think that is a good step way forward that we should adopt in terms of how do we support Turkana also to monitor this project.
Exactly.
Also Wajir. So yeah, I think it's a good thing that we have members from Turkana. Maybe we can see whether we can help them see and monitor where the project has gotten. Also, Abdi, I wanted to remind you of time because we had said we'd end the meeting at 4. So
Yes.
I think we're about time. So to
Okay. In conclusion, since what Turkana was showing, I think I'll go back to there's someone who has joined us. I think Hassan Adan. Hassan.
Yeah. Can you
Hassan
give me
Adan,
time to? Yeah.
Yeah, we are closing now. Well, umechelewa kidogo, my friend.
I was in another. I was doing multitasking. I was in another meeting, and I wanted to participate in this. So can you give me like a 4 minutes or 3 minutes? I just share my input on this.
Okay, you have 5 minutes.
Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you, Maskani and Abdurrahman and Mukhtar for organizing this virtual meeting. I think it's very good. My name's Hassan Aden. I'm the chair of Garissa Community Development Watchdog Group. I'm a human rights activist. And also I'm a humanitarian development worker, specialist on, mostly specialist on livelihood and economic inclusion of refugees and host community in Garissa County and even Kakuma. So one thing I wanted to say is that I have participated in the visibility assessment of this project at my own. I have participated in the development of this concept note of World Bank project, and I clearly understand this project so much. So this project has a lot of impact for our people, especially for the people of who were hosting refugees for the last decades. I think that's 20 years, both Kakuma and Garissa County. And I think this is a noble project, and if the objective and activities and the intended will be used for this project, I think communities will going to benefit a lot. Especially based this because my experience, I've been working in both Kakuma and the DAP and with the refugees and the host community. We didn't have this kind of project. And really, I'm telling you, this project is clearly outlined. The objectives are outlined. The impact indicators are clearly outlined. The outputs are clearly outlined. And World Bank is a reputable agency that monitor their project. You can't get away with their project like that. So my appeal to all colleagues who are here and to all other people, just what I want to say is, let's make sure that this project benefit the people who are intended for. One thing I know is that nobody can get away with World Bank money like that. You cannot. The financial procedure that this project has been put for, I think nobody can get there. And for your information, I don't work for any of the facilitating agency, neither do I work for any of the projects. But I said I participated indirectly on an execution of this project. And I really advocated for this project implementation or funding for this project. So I think what I wanted to say is that this is a very noble project. Let's make sure that we monitor. But I have seen in recent times, people claiming that there is money that is been looted. But the people who are fighting, who will do this project and who will implement, the Garissa County government and even the MPs. I think none of them will have directly access to this project in terms of funding. Like if an MP wants to take money, he cannot get it directly from this project, World Bank, including even the county government. Nobody can access money directly because the way it was done, it is bottom-top approach kind of project, whereby the community will identify their project, they will identify their priorities. For example, if you last time I've received an email showing that for the 2021-2022, all the communities in all the locations and sub-locations have identified their priority number 1, their priority number 2, their priority number 3, and priority number 4 for the 5 years of the project. And through a technical,
Hassan, due to time, Pranda Asir, we are concluding. I want to ask you a question, Kidogo. Within that
bro,
time,
ask me, please.
Just want to conclude because time Kidogo in Aisha. Okay. This you have said that you have you are well acquainted and well informed about the project. Let's not talk about it has been politicized by different whatever, but we know that there's a project, the project agreement document, what's called the terms of reference, how the project was envisaged, the design that was envisaged, and everything, and all that. So when as the project right now, I think it is second financial year, if I'm not wrong, was just approved a while ago. What do you think? Do you think that it has been implemented in terms with the TOR, with the MOU, with the PAT, project agreement documents, and all those things?
My experience in working in humanitarian field is that any donor, who gives you money,
this specific project.
This specific project, and I think personally at this level, I cannot say I cannot measure the impact or how the project is being other, but I just mentioned the system that World Bank has put for this project implementation. Because what happened is that for community to access support, for example, if they identify small grant support for each group of 500,000, there must be, if a group in Alijugur or a group in the DAB is being supported for 500,000, one, they must have an account. Second, the money that will come directly from the headquarters Nairobi, it will come directly to the group, and it has to reflect. Because remember, this project will be monitored, for your information. This project will be monitored by independent financial institution like PricewaterhouseCoopers. So it means World Bank has to be very careful on how their money will be utilized. Facilitating agencies, for your information, please, I want you guys to go back and know the role of the facilitating agencies and the roles of the committees and that, because this is clearly defined in the project description, very clearly described. And let me tell you, my experience is that when you share, anybody has the right to complain and share information.
Can I ask
something? I'm just finishing.
Before you finish on that, but on the facilitating partners, I want to be straight. According to the terms of reference, the project engagement of one facilitating partner per sub-county to provide an effective field-based regular facilitation support to the beneficiary community for effective and efficient. It's supposed to be for effective field-based and regular facilitation support. So what's happening? What we are getting, because we have been doing social audits for the last 3 months. What's happening? Is, I don't know in the DAB if you don't know, but in Fafi and those and in Lagdera and the DAB, since you work in those areas, you can confirm it. What's on the field, but we're talking about the facts on the ground now. These facilitating partners, they have usurped their roles. Their roles are supposed to be strictly limited to what's called field-based using facilitation and all that. But they have usurped their roles and mandate, and they have overstepped their mandates by selecting and what's called handpicking the village committees. These village committees are the ones who are supposed to identify projects in their areas. Are you getting me?
I'm getting you very well, Abdurrahman. And let me tell you, and I agree. That's why I said in the start, this project is we cannot get this project. This can be our last time we get this project. So this is a project that needs to be monitored. And I thank your organization, Garissa Resident Association, on what you are doing. I thank the watchdogs, what they are doing. But please, my little experience is that sometimes back, there was a project that we raised a red flag. But what happened is that time for me, I said, I have no any evidence, hard evidence that I can share with a World Bank. So that was World Bank and DFID. So they sent an email to DFID, and DFID, what they do with their project, and even including World Bank, when you complain, they will ask for your evidence. So what I'm saying in a nutshell is, please, if you have a very concrete evidence about this project, and this will help in improving the project for self-reliance and livelihood empowerment of the people. If you have any tangible that the facilitating agencies are not doing their work, you can raise it to the World Bank, and they can put them on their where they're supposed to be. And I think that's why I say in future we will have a virtual discussion.
Something else, Hassan, since you are working this humanitarian field and you have worked in the DAB and all those things, first I want you to also understand that this project is not limited to only providing the funds for the community groups. There's also the sub-projects.
There is wash, there is health, there is road project. Yeah, I know.
Yes. You work in the DAB, you stayed there for, you worked there, whatever. For the last financial year, since this thing has entered the second financial year, that's why I said, have you seen, those projects being implemented? Well, there are boreholes, dug somewhere, others, those wash, whatever you have been saying.
That's why I was saying, that's why it's your responsibility. Yeah, now you, Abdurrahman Mukhtar, and your colleagues, that's your responsibility.
I think you have lost Hassan. Hassan, unmute your mic. Hassan, unmute your mic. Yes. I can hear you. Yeah, continue.
Monitor the project. That is your right. In fact, institutions, most of the reputable institutions in the world, always recognize community groups that will keep watch on this project. And it's true only that the objective of this project will be achieved. And that's why I said I can see you are following the output indicators of this project. And it's you guys who can follow up and see if there is anything that have been done in WASH. What are how many groups were supported? How many do they do? You can do this thing. And I really thank organizing for this virtual meeting. And please, let's have a wider one where you bring in the facilitating agencies, you bring in members of parliament, we bring in the governor, we bring all the communities, so that
all the stakeholders,
all the stakeholders in a virtual meeting like this because of the COVID situation. And I think through that, we can save a lot of money that will not go in another way wrong. Or we can have a good direction, and community even can understand. Some of the community maybe does not understand. They don't understand the role of the facilitating agency. They think the facilitating agency are the donors. So it is upon you that you go out on your way through Maskani, like sharing information with the community. Thank you.
Thank you, Hassan, for taking part in that. Thank you for sharing your inputs. Tumashkuru sana. Kimani, Kim, can you hear me? Kim?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes, I know for the sake of time, najua nitumenda long kidogo. There was someone else I wanted to ask him a question. Lakini for the sake of time, I think I'm going to give Mukhtar, my colleague, apatiana his final word, and then I'll conclude. Mukhtar, go to Mukhtar.
Thank you, Abdurrahman. I think I don't have much to say. And because of time, we are fasting, and also we have kept so long our colleagues from Nairobi who are also listening to us because of the jam and something like that, because also they have to go home. But thank you, Kimani and his team, and Maskani Taifa, and Kimani and the team. We have been working with you for so long. We have been supporting us, and we look forward this support to continue. And I think now we have entered a very tough battle of this project, and we have done a lot, me and Abdurrahman and the team from Garissa, and we are going to engage them. We are going to engage them. We are going further to follow this process, and for the betterment and for the benefit of the community, of our larger community in Garissa County, without favor or fear and without any politics. We are not politicians. We are here to fight for the rights of the community. And since this project and World Bank have brought to Garissa, I think it needs to benefit the community. It needs to benefit community, sincerely speaking, because, and we have seen some members of parliament who have benefited. They are so wealthy now. Every one of them now is pocketing almost 100 million, more than 100 million per financial year. And in the name of supporting the community and something else. So, and I think, and we need now, as colleagues from Garissa, Abdurrahman and the team will pull up our socks. I think we have gone far. We have petition, we have share letters with them, we have also copy letters to ACC and DCI, and we will go further. We will also petition the parliament to follow up the project, inshallah, as Abdurrahman have said. And also I'm giving hope, and our colleagues from Turkana, please, and our brother have shared, this project is being implemented in Turkana West, in Kakuma, because also Turkana hosts refugees, Kakuma, and there are very large number of refugees from Sudan and Somalis. But this project, we know that's also implemented there. We need them also to follow up and make sure that this project benefits the community. And for that, thank you so much, and we look forward with fruitful engagement, inshallah. Thank you so much.
Karibu, bro. Kimani, let me just conclude, and then I'll give it to you. Kimani. Kim.
So go ahead.
In conclusion, thank you first to Maskani for hosting us. I think it has been a fruitful discussion. For the people of Turkana, I hope you have benefited from this session. I hope you have been, you have got some insightful information. I think some insight, Mushapata Kidogo, on the whole project, on the way it's implemented, the design. We talked a lot. There was even so many people have shared their testimonies and their opinions and their views regarding this project in Garissa specifically. In Wajir is the same issue. So we wanted to hear from Turkana. So I urge the people of Turkana to get into the know, to ask around, to follow up, and if they need any kind of they want to follow the same route that we took, the same trajectory, they can perhaps liaise with us through Maskani and get our details. So and I want to conclude this. For the people of Garissa, we have been doing social audit, and we're still going to do more. This is just we have barely started scratching the surface, because this project is a 5-year project, and it's a 4 billion 5-year project. It's in second financial year, and we are not going to just watch as people loot right, left, and center. We are not going to stop. We are going to make sure that we will exhaust all available avenues. There's no way people who are, what's called the briefcase NGOs. There's no way briefcase NGOs that are owned by, individuals who happen to be politicians of the areas they come from, MPs of the areas they come from, can pocket money that's meant to, benefit the poor Abdi, poor Halima who lives in the villages, who has no basic access to water, sanitation, and healthcare and all that, this kind of thing. So that is basically what is driving us, and what's going to drive us going forward, inshallah. So we're going to take step by step, and we're going to exhaust all available avenues. This money does not belong to the government of Kenya. This money does not belong to these politicians. This money does not belong to the facilitating partners. This money is intended for the target beneficiaries. Target beneficiaries are the people who live, the host communities in these counties, specifically those constituencies that host refugees, those that are supposed to be in the places where that policies was supposed to be implemented. So we're going to fight till the last minute. So thank you for hosting us. And Kimani, I hope we can have another session like this, so that probably people of Turkana can go back on do their own homework, and then we'll again look for people from Wajir, so that we can hear from the 3 sides. Now, we've only had mostly on Garissa County, but I'm 100% sure, if not 100, I can say 199 plus, what's called 99% sure that it's the same issue happening in those counties as well. So I will talk to you, inshallah. We'll also request for another session, since COVID-19, it's not possible to have a meeting, a physical meeting, these limitations and everything. We will have the three counties now. People will look for people from Wajir who will take part in it. We had people who are ready today, but due to Ramadan and the time and and everything, they could not take part in this discussion. Thank you for hosting us. That is my conclusion remarks.
Abdi, thank you, and thank you everyone who made their time to be part of this meeting. I think part of the reason why we host Maskani is for people to be able to talk to each other, because we believe that the minute we stop talking is the moment we start fighting. And especially because we do not seem to understand, especially what happens around governance and around resources that are meant to benefit the people. So I think going forward, we shall continue supporting each other in terms of either if it's petitions or campaigns online or actual meetings, we shall continue being there. I also want to say that it's very important for us to be the vestiges of our communities and the watchdogs, the eyes and the ears of our communities, to be able to understand what's going on and to be able to support everyone who needs the support that is being given out there. And I also want to say that the reason why we have this kind of campaign is that not that we want to really point a finger on anyone, but we want the right thing to be done and for the right resources to be used for the right purpose, and also to ensure that politicians do not get the leeway to continue plundering money intended for communities. So I think for us, we're going to leave it at that. Yeah, and unless there's anyone from the team, the rest of the team who wants to add something. Brenda, Irene, Nahila, Susan. Yeah. So I think for me, I'm going to leave it at that. Do you have anyone else who maybe a question? They can shoot a question at, or they can just contact us online. I'll also share my number with the people who we've not talked with before. And so yes, for me, I'd want to leave it at that. Asanteni.
Okay, Kimani, tumeshukuru. We look forward to having more virtual discussions the coming what's called months and the weeks. I appreciate Nahila is saying thank you everyone for taking part in our conversation. Karibu Nahila. So I think the same discussion is already amplified also on Twitter at the same time, concurrently.
Yes.
Okay. Everybody, thank you everybody who has taken part in it. I think we have now people of Turkana. You now have what's called a vivid description of how this project was supposed to be implemented, how it's being what's called plundered left, right, and center, how it has been hijacked by local elites in collusion with area MPs and the facilitating partners who are just briefcase NGOs and all that. So, and it's the same across the board. So I want the people of Turkana to do their homework, know who's the facilitating partners in Turkana West, what's called, and then follow the same process that you have followed. If you need any help, as I'm repeating it for that time, you can liaise with us. So that is from me and my team in Garissa. Thank you for hosting us, Maskani. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Santi.
Thank you, Abdi.
Thank you.
Na watu wa Garissa muwe na Ramadhan njema. As you come to a close.
Nashukuru, tumelemewa kidogo lakini tumeshukuru.
Iko sawa.
Thank you.
All right. So we can leave the meeting on pleasure. Santeni.
Kim.
Yes.
Unaweza baki
Acha kila mtu atoke kwanza.
Okay.
So, Kim.
Yeah. Niambie.
Ulisahau kumwambia story ya credit kama wanajua. Ulisahau kumwambia story ya M-Pesa.
Haki nani nimesahau. But anyway, si nikutumie wala wasome attend, si ndio?
Nitumie attendant list. Siko na numbers.
Kuna numbers lakini wala wasome wali register si wote walikam. So, I think tutanid kutoanya kuja.
Okay, alafu unaita nini? What do you call the numbers? Opa ina shida.
Number. Zisikuwe
the right numbers.
Sawa. I think nilieka mtu akiregister anaweka namba. Like ilikuwa kwa nini? Ilikuwa mandatory.
Okay.
Hata kwa kuna
Okay. Tulisahau hiyo. Tulisahau kuambia.
Tumesahau actually.
Sawa. Tengeneza hiyo list alafu nitumie. Okay.
Sawa.
Okay, thanks.